Hello, my marvellous sausages. I've been asked to do a full guide on the Hawkmoon, and you know what? I love the gun so much that I'm going to bloody do it, you know. Now, it's quite a long guide, so if you need to jump forward to a specific bit, then you can find all the parts of the quest linked in the timestamps below in the description. Right then, we start, first of all, by going to visit the spider, and we're going to go and get the 5 feathers that you need. Now, the first feather you're going to find after you speak to Spider, it's just outside his house bit on that box that looks like a pair of boobs. Then the second one, we've got to bugger off to the EDZ. Now then, this one is quite easy to find. It's just by the lost sector there called the Hallowed Grove. Go to the sludge and you'll see a knackered old building with some sort of scaffolding affair sticking out. There it is, look, the rickety old thing. You can see the glow underneath of the feather. It is just opposite the Hallowed Grove lost sector. So there we go, that's feather number 2. Feather number 3, easy peasy lemon squeezy. You want to go to the Cosmodrome, to the steps, and exactly where you spawn, you want to jump up onto that sort of knackered old pillar there, and you will see the glowing feather nestled on the top. Thanks very much. Let's go and do number 3, and this one is in the Devalian Mists landing zone in the Forbidden City. Not the Forbidden City, what's it called? The Dreaming City, yes, that's right. You want to head towards the doors there, which are the entrance to the Blind Well, and just on your left, you'll see the feather floating on the plinth there, or rather, resting on the plinth. The final feather is on the moon, so you want to go to the Sanctuary landing zone, go left towards Archer's Line, then you want to follow the way I'm going here, you want to take a right down to the doorway. We're heading to the Shrine of Oryx, so we're going to keep on going this way, and you're going to enter the Hall of Wisdom. Once you get into the Hall of Wisdom, you want to take a left, and then go through the new Cryptolith entrance type thing there, and you want to follow this all the way to the very end, where you'll eventually pop out at the Shrine of Oryx. You can't go wrong, really, there's only one way to go, and then if you just walk around the central area here, you will see the feather. That's not the feather, that's a chest of a champion I just killed. There's the feather just nestling on the ground there. Fantastic stuff. So that's all 5 feathers done there. So next you've got to bugger off and go and see the crow on the Tangled Shore, and then he'll send you on a really cool little mission. Now the mission begins on the EDZ, so it's back to the sludge, and it's just outside the Hallowed Grove lost sector that you can see here on the map. Now you complete the lost sector as you normally would, and once you get to the boss at the end, the lost sector boss, you will see a hawk appear, and that's marking the entrance of the way that you actually have to go. So this has turned now into a bit of a jumping puzzle. This is all new territory, so I'm going to just let this run to show you exactly the way I went. So we're crawling through here, through all the sort of dribbling testes that are hanging from the ceiling. Very nice too. So here we are in the Hollowed Rift, or Hallowed Rift. Okay then, so we're going to be jumping from side to side really, so make sure you got your best jumping trousers on. There's the first hawk that we see, and the first thing we're doing is we're going to jump across to that ledge across the way there, because that's the only way we can get to where we need to go. So I like using the Warlock for this. People will flame me alive for saying that, but what's great about the Warlock is that they can freeze their jump in midair when they land, and you can make micro adjustments to land on small ledges, which is pretty good. But you hunters and you titans, you'll do fine as well. Okay, so here we are. We're coming out into this section here. Now we're going to go to the right. You can just see up there. And round here we go. So just out of the tunnel here, we're spinning around to our left and jumping up onto this grassy ledge. There we are, nice and easy peasy. Now we need to jump across to that ledge there. Be careful of the boop cannon shooty offy things. They're complete swines. So make a run for it or count the timings. There we go, landing on a ledge there. And then we're going down here. More spittoons of death. Keep on going across. Oh my gosh, look at that. Now, you're going to get a few taken here and there, so take them out because it'll make it a lot bloody easier if you're trying to do these jumps without them trying to shoot you up the arse. Okay, we're going to jump over to this orange pipe, which is a nice little marker for us to keep in our brains. We're going to spin around and look towards the right. You'll know exactly which way to go because the taken will mark the way. As is the way in Destiny, the baddies always mark the way that you need to go. And of course, there's Mr. Hawk, who is basically the traveller, showing us which way to go because it's jealous because we're having a love affair with the darkness. Never mind, eh? Right, keep on going this way. Watch out for the boop cannons. You're going to get Shadow Thrall piling you here. I actually got killed at this point and pushed off the edge, but I managed to jammy my way back up. Kill the wizards. And of course, watch out for the boop cannons. Here we go. we will actually be returning to this area in a later mission for the Hawkmoon, and it's completely different that time as well, so they've really done a good job on this mission. It's very interesting and exciting. Okay, over onto this platform here. Watch out for the bar stewards, kill them off, and then of course we can just see the hawk over there, which marks the way that we need to go. And there's the final doorway there too that we're going to go through. Now then, be careful here, because when you turn up, not only do you get, well, you get him, and he's a pain in the ass. You know, he's a phalanx who blows you off. Ooh, misses. Not in that way, you understand, but in the way of, well, blowing you off. Look, so you've got to be very, very careful, because he'll kill you, and it's very annoying. Right, we're into the final scrap here now, which isn't too hard at all. And to complete the scrap, all you've got to do is beat 2 centurions, really. There's no mechanics or anything to do here. Just kill these swines, and once they're dead, you'll be able to go and collect the effigy of the Hawkmoon, and then we're on to our next step. Pick that baby up, and then we're off back to go and see the crow, who's going to tell us to go and get 50 Orbs of Power. They're not Orbs of Light anymore, they're Orbs of Power. Now, in order to get these, they just drop from general activity, so do whatever you like. But I must recommend use a masterworked weapon, because it drops more orbs. And also, orbs drop from using supers as well. Maybe even the Crest of Alpha Loopy if you're using a Titan, because that encourages orbs to drop too. So anyway, sorry, that one just popped in my mind as we were going there. Once you've got your 50 orbs, you're going to go back and see Crow again, and this time we're going on a really weird little mission on the EDZ, and it's actually really cool because it collects some nice bits of information and lore and actual dialogue from the crow. So here we are in the EDZ. Now then, you can see it marked on the map there. We haven't really been this way before, but as people have actually found this sneakily before it was actually meant to be found, as they normally do in Destiny. They're such clever bods. Well, anyway, we're jumping up here. There's the hawk. Hello, Mr. Hawk. And then we want to go this way. I didn't know if it happened to you, but I had loads of bugged dialogue there that kept on repeating again and again. Don't know why that happened. Anyway, you want to keep on going this way, and it's going to open up into the reservoir area. And what we're actually seeing here is the Lake of Shadows strike from a different perspective. Isn't that nice? That's the boss room on the end over there. We're collecting feathers again on this mission, really, and they're all marked on the map. The first 4 are marked on the map anyway, and there, of course, is the first one. So we'll pick that one up, and then we're going to make our way down the tunnel here. It's like the Goonies, this, isn't it? Watch out for the Taken, of course, but as usual, the baddies mark the way to go. The dimwits are actually helping us. So you want to take a right here. And there we go. Now you want to go onto this little ledge here, so be very careful. Don't fall down like I just did at the beginning. But I cut it out to make myself look better. Be careful. Kill more Taken. Hit that 4 times speed control and relax. And here we go. You can start seeing markers appear on the map. So we'll just go around and pick these up. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it, but of course, it's probably easier for you to do so because it just happened naturally with me liking it. So you want to go to this room here. Once you get into the main room, there are Taken to kill. Just take them out, as is your wont. And once the swines are all dead, it feels like we're going back the same way, actually, but we're not. We're going up this central tunnel here, because we came in just along the fence there. There we go. It's marked by more Taken swines. So pop it between their eyes, missus. Up the stairway here. Could do with some bloody lifts in this place, I don't mind telling you. And here we go. Here's our first feather. Easy to spot. Pick that baby up once you've killed all the gits. And onwards out of this room to the next one. It's a paracausal feather. Right, this one here, the next one's actually at the bottom of this sort of silo area. So jump down, get your feet wet like I did, splash, and there we go. There is the next feather. Pick that baby up, and we'll go and get the next one. Now up onto this cylinder here, and then up onto this cylinder here, and then spin around, and you'll see that way we need to go through that doorway at the top there. Now then, this one is really interesting, and I'd recommend that you have a good old look around this room, because not only do you have the feather, but there's loads of interactable objects in here that are all to do with the crow. This is called the crow's nest. Look, there it is. Now then, each object might be able to be interacted with a numerous amount of times, and you're going to get a nice wodge of backstory about what the poor old crow has been doing since he murdered our friend in cold circuits. I mean blood. I just want to show you this next bit because the timing really made me laugh as I was looking at his makeshift bog out of a mop bucket.
This was where I learned pride.
Right, we're off to find the last feather, and it's basically a bit of a boss fight in the same zone as the Lake of Shadows end boss, and then during the fight, that's when we pick up the final feather. So, we'll go this way here into this main room. Enemies showing the way again. Thanks, enemies. We're just going to be making our way down to the bottom level, so it's not too much to kick in, really. So enemies all cleared out, we've made our way down to the bottom level, and then we're going to be leaving through that doorway up on the right there. A neat little side mission, this, I thought. And this is it, this is the boss Scrap. Now then, there's a new mechanic. Well, it's not really a new mechanic at all, but you've got to kill the glowy Taken, and then they drop relics, which you pick up and fling at old shielded trousers there. It's about 4 relics to drop his shield completely, and then once he's killed, you get to pick up the feather. So there we go, feather picked up and back to see the crow. And now he's going to tell you that you need to make kills. This is the biggest pain in the arse step in the entire quest. You've either got to kill guardians or champions. Now, I wouldn't bother with the guardian route because you get 0.5% per guardian that you kill, which means you're going to have to kill around about 200 guardians to get this step completed, which we all know if you're not very good in PvP, like, well, I am not, and Gambit will take forever. So, the best way to do it is to kill champions. Now, the champions will give you 3% per kill, so it's a lot quicker. The best way I found to do it was to do a hero empire hunt. You know, you can pick them from the map. If you've gotten the sabotage step from Varix, you can do elected difficulty. Now, don't bother doing adept because there's no champions in adept, and master and legend and all that other cobblers are way too hard. So if you do hero, first of all, you'll get match made with other players, so that makes it a bit easier, and then you get about 4 or 5 champions per run, which is pretty good. Now, you don't actually have to kill them yourself, you just have to stick some damage on them, make sure you've got a few shots on them in order to kill them, and that will register on the count. And it basically took me 4 of these empire hunts to get what I needed, which was great and far less painful than I thought it was going to be. You can of course do lost sectors as well, but power level is really important, and to make it a lot easier on yourself, because these champions are a massive pain in the ass and will kick your ass at every opportunity. And make sure you've got the correct mods on too. You've got the overload rounds in for your auto rifle or for your scout rifle, or you've got the barrier mods on for your pulse rifle, and you get those mods of course from the artifact. I've done a little video on the artifact and also on how to beat the various champions if you want to have a little look at that to prime yourself before finishing this step. And now we're on to the final mission. We don't have to go and see the crow, we just go back to the EDZ and start that baby up. And this part is exactly the same as before. You've got to complete the lost sector, kill the boss, and then the hawk will point the way through. So again, we're going in to do a bit of a jumping puzzle, but it's a different path than what we went through the first time. So I'm going to let this one run through as well, so you can see exactly the way that I went. So here we are again in the Hallowed Rift, and this all should look a little bit familiar to you. We just drop down here. Now then, we're going to go high up this time, and you can see the hawk just up there. So you need to jump over to the opposite area, which is here, which is the way we went last time, but you can see now it's blocked off. We can't go that way. So now we're going to jump up these rocks here on our right, so we're going back over to the side that we came in on. It's a little bit dark, so mind your step. There we go. Magic mushrooms. And another ledge here. Just run across that way. And then we're going to jump over to this ledge. There we are. There's the hawk. And that's the way we're going to end up going. We're going to jump over onto this ledge here. And then once you're on this one, you want to turn around and make a big jump over to the hawk. I barely made it and mantled up, so it's quite a big jump, so make sure you got your practice in for that one. Anyway, hawk down. Let's follow the marker to the next area. This time we're going to be jumping round to the right. Here we are on the fellow here. Jumping over onto this little nodule here. There's boop cannon type bloody things. Now then, we've got to jump onto a tiny pipe. You can see it here. Just hold on tight, and there we go. And there is the hawk. It's quite hard to get to, and you may fall a couple of times, but don't worry, it's not too bad to do it because it doesn't put you back too far. Anyway, here we are going past the hawkway. the Hawk way. God, I don't have to talk some bollocks, but if you do like admiring my talking bollocks, then a like and a subscribe would be fab if you want to kind of hear more of my bumf. Right, onwards and upwards. We've killed that taken there. Now that's exactly where we need to jump, governor. So make a jump for it and slowly glide over and then insert yourself into the pipe. More rickety pipe jumpings. Kill the bastards on the other side first, otherwise they'll shoot you up the arse whilst you're jumping. Okay, so you want to get as close as you can to the edge. Well, it's up to you really, but we're jumping onto this rickety pipe. So here we go, onto the pipe. Hushed, hushed, I'm crap at this. There we go, that's the warlock coming into his own there with the stop in midair and very slightly nuanced landing. Yeah, it's very good. Okay, over onto orange pipe once more. And go to the end of the orange pipe. Now when we turn round to the left here, you're going to jump up onto the next ledge where you can see this taken idiot. But once you jump onto the ledge, be careful not to go too far forward because you can fall off and down into out of bounds there, so be very careful. Now then, here we are actually just going to make one big jump over to Mr. Hawk. I did think it might be better to try it from here, but no, it's too far and too narrow an angle, so I tried it from the way we just were. So go around to the edge there and give yourself a leap of faith, Last Crusade style, and wiggle down on the edge like this. There we go. And I'm on the edge. Thank you very much, Mr. Hawk. Off we go to the next part. Not far to go now. So kill this taken that we're in this area here. Off to the train tracks. And we look over. Watch out for the bloody acolyte's eyes as well. They're a pain in the acolyte's eye. There you go. There's another one down. Ooh, look. I love my thorn. Right, okay. This way onto this ledge first of all. My God, my voice went high-pitched and all squirrely then. It's ridiculous. Too much jabbering, that is. Okay, onto this opposite ledge. It is quite sort of risky, isn't it? Now then, kill any taken that might shoot you up the arse, of course. Beware of the 3 bloody bolts that come screaming at you like that, as they always do. Make sure you take them out and they've passed you before you jump. And there you go, there's another acolyte eye as well. So, avoid the boop cannons. We're going to go to this outcropping of rocks. So once we get here, look over to your left, and you will see Old Hawky. Now, when you land here with Old Hawky, as you land, another acolyte eye is going to appear and put the shits right up you. There we go, see? So be careful for that, because it made me poo myself. Okay, so up to the Hawk, and here we are in the final encounter. Once you kill these guys here, the doors will open. And here we go, last orders for the Hawkmoon quest. Now, this is a similar mechanic to the one we just had in that Lake of Shadows strike. You kill the glowy acolytes, pick up the relics, and fling them at the bosses. Now, you can see it says Barry integrity, 100%. But you want to get Barry's integrity down to 0%, and it drops each time you kill a boss. So it's around about 6 bosses that you need to kill in order to get this part of the mission completed. Don't panic too much though. It's not a darkness zone, so it doesn't reset if you die. You can just wangle your way through it. And there we go. You'll see a little marker up here, and then you've gotten your bloody Hawkmoon, and isn't it bloody marvellous? Now, suffice to say, it's my favourite hand cannon. I loved it from Destiny 1, and it feels so sharp and crisp and clipped, and it feels really accurate too, and I do really like it. Now, this is a unique exotic in Destiny history because eventually it's going to come with random rolls. Now, you can see it's got that question mark there that's called transformative, and when we acquire future copies of the Hawkmoon, that will give us different perks that drop into that slot, and it'll also change the grip as well. And its main intrinsic trait is called Paracausal Shot. Final blows and precision hits with Hawkmoon grant stacks of paracausal charge, and the final round of the magazine deals bonus damage based on the number of stacks. And if you stow the weapon or reload it, you lose the charge. So basically, the more precision hits and kills you get in one magazine, the final shot in the magazine will hit very hard. We've had people talking about getting 1-hit kills in the Crucible with it if you manage to get it just right, so that you get all your precision shots with one mag, and then the final shot will deal a body shot which will basically take people out, but it's quite difficult to get. In PvE, it's fantastic to use, and it hits like a tank, which is great. But there's got to be a god roll with this weapon coming in the future, because we can get random mods and perks on it. So how do we get this random rolled Hawkmoon? Well, we don't know yet, but chances are, and there's been words on the old Reddit grapevine, that the final mission that we just played there, we'll be able to replay it from the director on the EDZ, like you could do with Whisper of the Worm or Outbreak Perfected, run the mission and then get a Hawkmoon at the end of it, which will come with the randomly rolled bits and bobs. So whatever you're taking a fancy, really, you should be able to get. I went to Light GG and had a little look at the available perks that it had, and there's loads in there to cater for whatever style you want to play with. You can just see a few of them here on the screen, but I recommend you go and have a little look and see what it is. Right, I hope you found the guide useful, handy, and incredibly long, but I can't help that because it was a bloody long mission, wasn't it, eh? Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I shall speak to you all again very, very soon. Sausage out.